Brandon, quit calling me. First of all, let's start there. I'm Kang and I can't sleep is how I answered my last video. Started it, whatever. Um, but I am Kang. I'm with the groups Moonside, Game of Hammer. Formally, as of now, Zoldo Kang. Could change in the near future. Oh, Jared's hit me too. Hi, Jared. Anyways, today I'm going to be running through kind of my musical process on how we'll see how far it goes, but write a song. Maybe I don't write the full thing. Maybe I just get far enough for you to understand the process. Maybe we get through the whole thing. Who knows? But I'm going to show you my process of writing Nintendo Core music. Some of the stuff I use, like today, we're going to be using Cubase. We're going to be using some contact instruments, some VSTs, stuff along those lines. I'm going to show you some of my practices and how I go about like drawing inspiration. Some of it we might have to censor later because sometimes I have to get on YouTube and I have to draw inspiration from old tracks. Later on down the stream, we might get into that. We might not. Who knows? We'll see how driven I am by myself. But yeah, so without further ado, we're just gonna get started. Um, First thing I'm going to suggest you do, like I do with every project, is we are going to start a save file. You should always start a save file. So this is called streaming. We're gonna name it streaming. So we're in Cubase 13 Pro, blank file, starting from scratch. Um, Now we're just gonna add an instrument. We're just gonna go right for it. So for this being Nintendo Core music, I'm just gonna go like, by the way, chat, I have you pulled up on a separate screen. I can see you constantly talking. So if you have questions or remarks or anything you want to bring up, it's gonna be open. I can read them. And if at some point you have any questions about what I'm doing, I'll answer them on spot. And then kind of the idea is excuse me. At some point we're going to open up uh voice chat. So if you have real-time questions, then you can ask them real time. But as of right now, we're going to kind of keep it just to chat so I can actually like work on some stuff and make it a little less, you know, uh tutorially. I'll talk through what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna like focus on questions primarily. But anyways. So I'm just gonna make some stuff. I'm gonna do like standard Nintendo core in my eyes. So we're gonna have a guitar, we're gonna have a bass, that's for sure. We're gonna have drums. Is that heroin? Please censor that. And then we're gonna start there because then the synth when it comes in, it's gonna be whatever the heck I want it to be. So let's go ahead and get to the mix console. Did it all for the cookie. Mix console, we're gonna go ahead and start something called the where am I at? Add group channel. Do selected channels. So this is going to be our instrumental bus, not bass, bus. So this is going to put all of our instruments on a slider. All right. So we're going to take, well, what I just did basically was you can see the outputs of these instead of going to the stereo bus, they're going to go to the instrumental bus, which the instrumental bus then goes to stereo out. This is putting all of these faders on one fader. See? So eventually our synth bus is going to go to instrumental bus. But basically, I have such good sample libraries that I don't like stereo out anything anymore. I just use, like, for instance, like drums, you have a snare, kick, a bass, or snare, kick, toms, hi-hats, all that. I don't mess with that anymore. I just take the drum track as it is and I send it to an instrumental bus. It's mixed well enough. I don't really need to mess with anything. So let's go in and load a sample library. We're going to load our favorite, Jay Weinberg. I'm going to cut back some stuff I know I'm not going to use, change some things. So I'm going to unload that, unload this, and we're going to save frequently. So I'm unloading basically everything I know I'm not going to use. So, yep. And I'm feeling a higher snare just because I am. So we're going to load that. Get the fuck out of here. So now we're going to load some guitars up. I'm going to load my favorite just because I want to. I know a lot of people are using, fuck it, let's use Hydra. A lot of people are using Hydra. Let's just use Hydra. I like it too. It's good. So it loads with this default. It's got these guitars loaded, pick attack kind of up, all that shit. I have my start. I'm gonna load that. Turns the pick attack down a little bit, uses different voicings. Sometimes I turn the pitch bend range up a little bit. You don't have to. Then my start includes turning off all of the releases, which I would edit out of real guitars if I was recording real guitars. And then standard, I'm gonna go over to effects. I'm gonna load up a guitar tone of some kind. I like these amp knobs. Another philosophy of mine is I don't like to tweak shit. I used to like to tweak shit. I don't tweak shit anymore. Um, Reason I don't is because no one gives a fuck. No one saw how long I tweaked that guitar. They want a good guitar tone. So these are good guitar tones. I'm gonna go to preferences, turn on stereo, and then there's our guitar tone. That's really all you need to do. Then bass will load up. What am I feeling today? What am I feeling? Let's go Euro bass 3. Bass doesn't matter. I don't really have anything specific in mind, so I'm just kind of loading something up that I'm feeling. Um, Turn on distortion. Okay, fine. We'll go Nolly. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bro. La 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 la. Don't demonetize us. Anyways, actually, funny enough, I use the default tones, right? So This is the DI. You can make your own tone. Don't really give a fuck. Nobody cares. I'm gonna say that a lot because it's true. Care about your songwriting, and don't care about your tones. So there's a basic setup. So that's just, standard. Okay, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna hit Command S, or that will be the equivalent of save. If I say I'm gonna save, that's me saving. I want you to know how often I save. It's really important. A lot more people need to save a lot more in a lot of areas in their life, not just with music. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So, got my basics set up. I'm gonna start with a riff. I'm gonna figure out a riff. I don't know what I'm gonna. I have no clue. I when I did not. I was telling Clam. I was like, hey man, I'm going in blind. I don't give a crap. Oh, see, that's okay. All right. So I'm going in blind, man. I'm not. I'm not trying to come up with anything specific. But I always kind of do start with like a guitar riff. Sometimes I'll like sometimes I'll like literally like play a guitar and find a riff, or I just play around on the keyboard. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out what key I want it in. That's gonna be my lowest note, just because that's how I roll. That's how I write music. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, my band Moonside, we play pretty much every song so far has been in drop B. So I typically start there. But sometimes I want to go lower. Um, that's what I'm feeling right now. We're gonna go lower. So we're gonna go in E minor. So what that does, at least in my DAW, yes, guitar tones don't matter. So in my DAW, in Cubase, you can set a scale, and basically what that does is every time you see a note right here in green, it means it's within scale. If it's orange, it's out of scale. So it sets limitations for me to be able to not be out of key. I guess that's a limitation, but also like a positive. I'm never going to be out of scale, basically. So now I just play around a whole bunch. You're gonna watch me play around a whole bunch. You're gonna watch me make some silly sounds, and it's not gonna sound good, but we're gonna find a cool riff. We're gonna find a cool riff, and then we're gonna jump off there and figure out what we're gonna do from there. So, let's find a rhythm. No, already no. Let's change the tempo up. Okay, another thing I like to note too is yeah, the amp dude, literally I just opened it up, funny enough. Like literally it's just like I'm pretty sure you guys saw me. I opened it up, and these are all the settings. That's the default settings, and then you just go here to preferences and make it stereo. That's all I did. I made it stereo, but this is the default. Highly recommend. When you're going as low as like drop E, um, I also like to note that I don't do a lot of power. Brandon, stop. Okay, okay. So when I'm doing drop E, or any, like, there's a certain range, and you'll know it. You'll know it once you get to a certain, like, the chugs get to a point where they're muddy, right? So if I'm if I'm in like drop B and I'm doing a power chord chug, it's uh it's still clear. It's got a defined chug. You can kind of hear the individual notes. Well, once you go down to like certain drop tunings, they're so low that you're not going to actually like hear the definition of the notes. So I actually won't be using a lot of power chords right now because they're the power chords are so low that they're just going to be mud and it's going to suck. So I'm going to avoid power chords. We're just going to chug a single string. So no. So another thing that might help me get a good rhythm going is I might throw a drum track in here and just get a snare going. There we go. Let's see. Needs more movement. Even then, bro. You don't need that.
Oh my god, that sounds so sick. Just had to pop in and say
Thanks.
that.
So right on, dog. Appreciate you. Uh uh
I know that my microphone's actually plugged in.
do what
Holy
now?
shit. Kang, I just learned something from you, those fucking Discord chords, dude. I didn't even realize, like, that's what you do on guitar. I'm that much of a guitar noob. Oh my god.
Who's talking right now? I can't
Thieves
see.
break.
It's who?
Thieves break into buildings.
Oh, right on, right on. Cool.
Yeah, those panic chords, right?
Oh yeah,
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 it's like
yeah.
an octave difference, but just one note off.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's classic, bro. All right, cool. I'm cool starting there. Um, so a couple things to note here. You can see I went like out of scale in a couple places. Yeah, that was on purpose. I'm going chromatic here. So like that's me going from this note to like fret 1 and then like hammer on. You see how it overlaps? I'm hammer oning onto the second fret. The same over here. It's kind of like a slam thing. Dun, 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 kind of thing. So it's kind of what's going on there. Um, a stylistic choice that's and a lot of video game music is chromatic as well. So yeah, we're asking no mics at the moment. Not throwing shade at thieves, man. It's all good. Uh I'm just trying to get a solid foundation. We're gonna go till about like 8:15 ish of me just soloing. Um and then we'll open up the chat for you guys to like verbally stop me as I go and say, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Or can you explain what you're doing or whatever. So just probably about 30 more minutes ish, 30 40 more minutes and then we'll open up the voice chat. Okay, so I have a stark philosophy. Yeah, yeah, feel free to ask questions in the chat though. I have a smaller screen right here. It has a lot of curiosity on Drum Pro. What's Drum Pro? Yeah, ask questions though. See, I'm reading them. I'm actually here reading them. So, ask questions and I will still answer them. Oh, drum production. Okay, well, this is a bad stream for that. So I have such good samples now that I actually I don't really produce I don't mix drums anymore. Um okay, bye. I don't really mix drums anymore. I don't really have to. Like there's some genres of music that I write, like some like pop punk stuff and some like kind of more emo stuff where I'll actually take the time to like mix the drums because I know how to do it. Which might be another like this is gonna be Play It Loud's gonna be a reoccurring um Play It Loud's gonna be a reoccurring thing with NCORE Collective. Um so at some point I might show a different kind of genre, but I'm showing my stock Nintendo core like this is where I go with it kind of thing. Okay, so production. I mean that's to me they kind of go hand in hand, but I'll see what I can show you. I can show you my philosophy. So I have a very sterile approach to Nintendo Core in general. The guitars, bass, and drums are a vessel in which to let 8-bit sounds, bleeps and bloops go through our speakers. So that being said, I'm actually like super rhythmic with like the bass guitars and drums, and then I let like the synths do the heavy lifting on the melodic synths. So the guitars typically don't do leads and stuff. So you're gonna see like this guitar, it's gonna stay pretty rhythmic and not do a lot of crazy leads and stuff. That's just not how I write Nintendo Core personally. And like the band I'm in, Moonside, where we do have like a really capable guitarist, he'll flare up riffs like this that I'll write and add stuff to them, but that's just like my writing style. I've always looked at like synths as like a lead thing, and like the guitars kind of just will do the rhythmic side of things. So we're gonna just copy the literally just copy the guitar. We're gonna paste it into bass, and it's gonna be So here's another thing that that I personally am against is I think this bass is way, way, way too low. Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that, Breadman. Yeah, we're very similar in that respect. So, I don't actually like the bass this low. It's just flubby. So I actually do the whole Meshuggah thing, and I put the bass in the range of the guitars. So if I'm going this low, I actually put the bass in the same range as the guitar. So it's kind of like a third guitar in a way, but it's bass. Um, so for this, I do need to. I have a little outboard Steam Deck thing that I use with Cubase, and I use it for MIDI commands. So I'm gonna do fixed velocity on these. You can't see what's going on here. So fixed velocity. And then I'm just gonna dime it out because this is fake fucking music, right? So this library doesn't do the legatos. So I'm gonna take all of these. You might be wondering here why that panic chord is only the low note. It's because I don't like doing panic chords with a bass. I like the guitar to have that shrillness of it. So all right, that's cool. That's cool. So this is probably gonna be super cheap, but let's get the kick drum. You know how I get the kick drum? Watch this. Copy the notes, paste the notes, kick drum, baby. Oh shit. Yeah. Now, this library does have a double bass, so I'm going to accommodate that right now. Anytime there's like a 16th note, I'm going to drop it to the second bass. Gosh dang it. So like a real drummer can play like a whole eighth note with one foot, so I'm not going to change those. Some of this is like actually knowing how drummers and guitarists like just play music in general. If you know that, well, in like this run right here, like so like a run where it's like straight eighth notes, they might just play this double bass. Typically you can do like a really quick double tap, like where this is like a eighth and a six, or like two eighths and then a 16th note right after that second eighth. But like this, you might stylistically choose to do something like that. Maybe we'll do it here too. And then let's see here. Let's see what the velocities are. Let's dime them out at 110. All right, cool. I'm cool with that. We might play with the like the kind of pattern and add some flair to the kick later. But as it stands right now, that's perfectly what I want. I just want something that'll help the rhythmic balance of everything. So I got that down. Might do some fun stuff where like I can see this is a cool eighth or like little rock. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a swing moment. Yeah, see, that's pretty cool. Go ahead and throw that in there. So let's add some. Actually, you know what? Ghost this out. Shit. All right, before I even get to synth, I'm going to do a little mix work. So first I'm going to start with the master channel. So I always mix into a basically a mastering chain, that's like a faux mastering chain, I guess. So I'm gonna load up BX hybrid. So this is a mono maker. All I'm gonna do is everything under 80 hertz is gonna be mono, no matter what instrument it is. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of stereo spread. 120. It's not a lot. I can add more, I can take away, but typically 120s the lowest I'll take this. So I kind of start there, and then I can add more later if I want. But typically these will fall off at some point, like when I actually send it out for mastering or I master it myself. Typically the only thing I'll keep on is like I'll reload a instance of my master bus compressor, and then I'll tweak it without all of these programs loaded. So I'll add that, and then we'll go SSL bus compressor. So now that I have some stuff playing, so just from years of doing this, I kind of know where I stand with this bus compressor. I'm not going to explain it too hard. What I'm looking for right here is I want the snare to hit right around 4. And this is going to change at some point once I get some mixing going. But right there is pretty good. So we'll load up tape saturation. Want it to hit it right around 0. A little hotter is good. I don't mind. I just don't want it dimed. And then we'll go for a limiter. This is just so we can make it loud. Okay, that's cool. So now I'm going to do some individual mixing on these 3 tracks. And then once I get these kind of mixed where I want them, then I'll revisit the master bus to kind of tweak it. And you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. This is how I mix. So, I don't know. We'll figure that out as the stream goes. I seriously at this point I don't know what this part is. It's gonna be something though. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm gain staging. So one thing about these newer drum libraries is they mix their snares like stupid loud. They do that for a reason. That's so it'll poke through a dense mix. But right now it's not a dense mix. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go in and I'm going to get rid of the snare. Now everything is within the drums as level as it can be. Now I can add that snare back in. So let's go add that back in. Using this guy. No, you gotta load. I told you to load. The fuck? Oh, there we go. So, the bass is kind of poking a little too much for me, so I'm gonna actually turn down the tone. All right, cool. So that's about where it sits, and then I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna revisit the master bus. So I don't need to pull this out again. It's gonna be later on down the road. So this is where I really need to fine tune it. Cool. We are at a point to where we can move forward. The bass mix is there. You can hear everything's gelling. It's glued together. It puts me in the mood to hear more of this song. So let's move forward. At this point in time, and I'll be totally honest with you, synth is probably one of the very last things I do. I'll normally get like a good part of the song rolling, and then I'll revisit synth. But I'm gonna change up just a little bit because I do it multiple ways. This is like the way I do it the least amount of times, but I still do it this way from time to time. So let's at least get another repetition of this going. Because this is gonna repeat twice. I know it is. It's too catchy to not repeat twice. So let's see here. How do I want to transition into the second part? Do that. Yeah, that's cool. And then we'll actually switch to what what bins? There's no bins. Okay. I think that's a good repetition. Fuck yeah. I'm vibing. Okay, so let's add some synth. Let's just get right into synth. I'm gonna use uh we'll just call it synth for now. By the way, I will say I've done a lot of this so long. You see me doing a lot of like, I'm doing it visually instead of listening. It's just because I can visually see how something is gonna sound. I don't really need to play it back. I will play it back. Obviously, I need to play it back. It's music, you know. I'm gonna have to hear it at some point. But the whole idea is I've done it for so long, like I can visually know what's gonna happen, and I'll just try it. And if it doesn't work, then I'll tweak it. But I know a good starting point. That's why I like that fill. I just wrote it without even playing it. I kind of knew the speed I wanted it to like portray. It's gonna drop, so I made it slower. That's just kind of my workflow. So sorry if that's confusing people, but that's how I do things, I guess. So load up Super Audio Cart. Tone's not important right now. What is important is making a no group channel called what the synth bus. And then this is going to route to no. This is going to route to instrumental bus. So now we have buses within buses. I can show you what a bus does now at this point. So you see all of these instruments go into the instrumental bus as well as the synth bus. So now I can take these and they're on a slider. But it goes deeper than that. Now I can also add effects to all of these instruments at once, right? So I can, in theory, add another compressor to compress all of these together. And it doesn't affect like I set it up like this because what if I add vocals to this track eventually? Then I can compress just the instruments, or even more so, I can do a side chain right here with the vocals, and they'll duck a little bit every time the vocals react. So this is like just preventative maintenance, right? Is just adding this track. Um, I don't really need an effect here. I'm just gonna leave it blank, but yeah, so the synth bus or the synth goes into the synth bus and then it goes into the instrumental bus. You go back, sir. Thank you. So here's where it kind of gets um where it's gonna get a little subjective. So this is really loud. Everybody writes different, so you're gonna see some weird shit I do. Yeah, come on, Brandon. You're my synth guy. Okay. Cool rhythm track. So let's work on synth sounds. Um, here. So now I'm gonna rename this because I know what it is. So it's an ARP. We'll do ARP 1 just in case we have more. Duplicate that track. We're not actually going to use it as that. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the reverb on this. I don't even know if I want to add any more to this, but I'm going to fuck it. We're going to try because it's still really rhythmic. This motherfucker's at the beach and this motherfucker's erect. What am I going to do with you guys? Take care of the erection and the beach. On the beach. Take care of the erection on the beach. No, I'm good at music, not jokes. We're gonna turn off this guy because I don't want. What was that? A, C, B, G. Hot dogs, $5. I remember that one. What the fuck you doing? I got it fucking wrong. A, C, B, G. Okay, so now we're gonna add a top line. Way too fucking high. Nein, das ist nicht gut. I'm not gonna hide my influences from you guys. Sorry. It's not gonna happen. Alright. I need some of this on there. Alright, cool. Then we can duplicate that. And then we need a C E F G. Alright, cool. And then a little trick I like to do is I don't actually introduce that part now. I introduce it in the second half. All right, cool. So it's 8:15. We got not a lot done actually, but I guess we will open up the everybody can turn their mics on part of it. And I will continue to work. If I so happen to cut you off by playing the song, I apologize. Just wait for the next time that the song stops, and we will continue talking about what you wanted to talk about. Please don't take offense to it, but yeah, go ahead. If you want to, you can cut your mics on. We did previously talk about me and Clam talk about me taking about a 10-minute break around this time. So I'm going to take a 10-minute break, but y'all hang out amongst yourselves, and I will be back in 10 minutes.
Have you made the switch, Brandon?
Huh?
Have you made
Yeah, no, I tried Cubase. I'm trying it. It's hard, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just not Fruity Loops.
I mean, you've been trying it, right?
Not yet, because I'm gonna wait for a new computer, and like I've got stuff still on FL that like
I mean,
I
yeah,
need
all
to
my
filter
stuff's on
out.
FL, so I am trying to switch over to Cubase though, but it's
Yeah,
just hard. It's different.
same. I mean, it's pretty similar to Logic, which is what I have used as well. So
No, I don't use that. Uh, Logic's dog shit.
yeah,
No, I mean, Cubase seems cool, but
I've never fucking used Logic.
I've never used Logic. Yeah, he's right.
I used it.
But like, Cubase is weird, bro, because like I don't know, in FL, like the piano roll in FL is like so easy to use, bro. And fucking Cubase is like you gotta hold Alt and do all this extra shit that's just like I don't know. It's annoying to me.
You can
I,
probably like there probably is a setting where you can just set up to like right click as put a note in.
well, let me know.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to let me know, bro, because I don't fucking know. We just turned our cam on over here for fun.
I mean, looking at the see the piano roll up there, like
Yeah.
a little way in, there's like the mouse button, and then there looks like there might be a pencil and an eraser and a cut and a
Yeah, no, there's a lot of little things, but I just don't know. There's some extra shit, bro. That like the hotkeys are weird for it. I don't know. I got so fucking used to FL, and then this motherfucker made me get Cubase.
100%. That third one in is just like draw.
Yeah, but like you you click it, and then it leaves the note there, and then you have to like do this weird thing where you have to click and drag it instead of like on FL. You can just kind of click it and then drag it at the same time, and
Yeah.
it'll be playing the note,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you can kind of hear it. I'm more of a like I just like do it as I go. I don't work off of like scales and shit. It's kind of more of a I just use my ears
Yeah,
kind of
you
thing.
just pick up the vibe and mess around.
Yeah. It gets weird when you get into like trying to set up your scales and stuff, and I don't know. I'm just not that musically inclined, I guess.
It's always yeah. The only thing that really will give you a benefit of is it's like a toolbox. You'll see more tools you can use, but it's like if you ain't got the vibe, you ain't got nothing. Doesn't matter how much you know about it.
Is that nice?
Yep.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I just kind of like I like to just open a project and kind of vibe. I don't know, and see where it goes. I cannot be that guy that's just like this song's gonna be in C fucking sharp and then just rip it.
Mm. That was it's art's weird too. It's like uh, there was one guy I was in a band with that was like that. It's Jimmy Sharp, and what's cool about that is that if you also if you're trying to jam with other people, that's super useful because then they automatically know what tools you're going to be using. But then it's like if you're just doing it by yourself, it's like way more important that it just sounds good and you're enjoying it, I think.
Mm.
It's kind of a catch-22, right? You
Yeah.
know, it's a collaboration or it's a
Yeah, I try to not collab that much. But Kang,
Hammer.
this motherfucker, he'll be like, "Yeah, we're gonna write a song in B sharp." I'm like, "Okay,
we're gonna write a what?
a song,
A song?
a schlong. We're gonna write a schlong in B
schlong?
sharp." I'm like, "Let's do it," and he'll send it to me, and then I just have to kind of wing it because I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I know if it's wrong though. That's the best part. You kind of gotta know if it's wrong, or you're fucked.
See,
Yo,
and
that part's usually pretty easy to see.
that's kind of the
You're
funny
like, oh,
part
this sounds terrible.
about Brandon and the way he writes is,
Why
yeah,
can't I hear
he.
Kang? I see a thing like
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you now.
So that's kind of the funny part about the way Brandon writes is because he's always in key.
Damn,
So like
Brandon.
he says I don't know keys, which he doesn't. He can't tell you he's in like C sharp, right?
He's
Or
so
he's
full of shit
like
though. He's so full
Yeah,
of shit.
He is.
But
Last day,
he's
in a
always
band
in
with
key.
Christian. He knows his keys.
He does, but he doesn't. Like he can't tell you what they are.
I don't know, piano roll maybe.
He knows it by
mean-
ears. He wouldn't be able to point it out on paper, but he definitely knows it by ear.
Exactly. He knows it by ear. He doesn't know it by paper. And that's
Which is
that's his plus. Like that's good for him. But like
Go
me,
back,
I do what?
go back to the drums a little bit. That's what I was asking you earlier. It's like my biggest thing, especially with Cubase and not having worked with it for so long, is
Mhm.
like the biggest obstacle I have when it comes to writing music, like in a DAW or something like that, is I just don't have a solid, fundamental like drum method behind me. So I'm curious about like what your approach to that is, other than I get the Nintendo Core, like you
Oh,
give.
dude. Let's backtrack. This
Let's
was a
go.
metal song before I added synth to it. Let's be real.
What? Well, I understand that, but you walk through it, so
Oh, okay. So yeah. I mean,
teach me, Dad.
I just know like I wanted this to kind of be a halftime beat. That's why I put the snare where I put it. And then I kind of worked
And it's
I
all off a
worked
piano roll,
yeah. It's all for piano roll.
and you can adjust the velocities. Okay, I mean,
Yeah. So I can highlight these and then here's the velocities.
right?
Make it
Yeah,
quieter.
I got you.
But yeah, like with a metal song, for instance, I'm not gonna put too much time into velocity, and I only don't do that because I want it to be ripping. I wanted to hit you in the face, right? Whereas like if I was writing like a more pop punk style jam, like I'm gonna like get a little more intricate with the velocities where like this is a little quieter because I know the next hit's gonna be harder, you know? Um you can get granular with that with metal
Well,
drums,
I
but
mean,
I don't
you hit the nail on the head earlier when you were speaking about it. Of like, you kind of got to think about what a drummer can actually do, and so
yeah.
when you write that kind of stuff, it's like oh, you don't have 8 limbs. You know what I mean? So
Mhm. Yes.
yeah,
And you can see some of that going on here, like, for instance, when I did this fill right here, like, I took away all of these China hits.
right, because that's not feasible. Like,
Right. So, you would have, like, tom, a snare, so tom snare, and, like, these are really like, I might even go as far as to, like, throw this into 30 seconds so I can really get the swing in there.
for sure, yeah.
But, like, this is almost like a flam, like, I'm almost trying to hit the high tom and the snare at the same time, but I don't get it quite right.
Like the
So, like, this is almost like yeah. You know?
Just like humanizing it a bit more.
Right. Getting a little more granular with, like,
And I feel
the
like,
hits.
granted, I'm the kind of the odd man out of the whole, scene with Nintendo Core and all that, but it's like that's what I feel like makes it really good, is if you can get that whole kind of like, you know, electronic sound, almost synthesized sound, but it's got to be real, right? So it's got to.
Well, and sometimes, like, seriously, because this is metal and because, like, I want it to be so rock solid, I don't really, like I don't know. The drums are the least important part to me when it comes to, like, how humanistic they sound because you you have all these instruments that are so, like, overproduced. I mean, we're using fake everything right now. Like,
Right.
this is
No,
fake
I
everything.
understand that. I'm asking. It's purely like from a production standpoint. It's not
Right.
necessarily akin to
Yeah, and
the.
it and it's not necessarily metal. Like, it's a per song basis, but, like, yeah, no, I drums, it's weird when it comes to, like, what genre you're doing, how you treat them. Like right now, I'm treating them very sterile,
Sure.
and really I'm just focusing on like you said, I'm focusing on like what can a drummer do? And then like for another genre, I might focus on what can a drummer do and what are his limitations as like is he fatigued? Is this like a really fast part? So he's hitting really
Yeah,
hard
if you're like galloping for
constantly.
like several measures, you're not gonna be able to
Right, right,
keep up. Yeah, I get it.
right. And Tyler, so velocities, um, typically, especially for like Nintendo Core, um, I'm treating it like a metal song. I'm gonna say Nintendo Core because that's what we're focusing on, but let's just say it's just metal. Okay. By the way, if anyone can't see the chat, Tyler's asking what I do about velocities, and he's cranked between, or he's cranked, baby. No, but he's
He's torn
torn
between
between
cranking,
he's torn between cranking everything versus lowering cymbals and boosting shells. So with some of these newer libraries, they're mixed to perfection, like this one.
No, he's cranked.
I hope he's cranked.
He's cranking.
So they're mixed to perfection. They're mixed that if this China is at the same level of this kick, then they are mixed to the point where this China should sound just as good against this kick. So it really, really has to do with the drum library you're using. In this case, it's really well mixed, so I just keep the
You're using the
velocities all the
Weinberg
same.
plugin?
Yeah, yeah. It's great. It's great.
Oh, it's super great.
One of my faves, easily. Um, the only time I get kind of granular with the velocities too is when I'm doing stuff like this, where I'm doing some ghost notes and also like here I might like this tom hit, I might pull it down a little bit because it's like a flam. And then like here I did like a swell, you know. So I started quiet and built up till it got real loud. So it like with metal music in general, it's specific to like the very specific part. Otherwise, it's just stagnant. Like I do 110. A lot of people do 127. I do 110. That's like the sweet spot for most drum libraries.
128's typically your house,
Your hardest.
medium,
Yeah.
shit like that.
But
Or
but
130, something like that.
with your hardest hits, they typically another thing with the hardest hits that not a lot of drum libraries tell you is that when you hit that drum as hard as you do, say it's the kick, you hit that drum that hard that it actually will choke out the next note. It'll choke out the next drum hit. So if you crank them like completely as high as they can go, they will actually choke out the next note. So you kind of want them a little teeny bit lower, just so they have the sustain they're supposed to have, and
Sure.
they're not just all attack.
And follow-up question, King. When are you gonna head
Yes.
down here and do a feature for a conduit song?
Oh,
Sir,
oh,
Oh,
sir,
calling you out. Calling
that
you
has
down.
to happen.
It
That
does
has
have
to
to.
happen.
100%. And you're using the contact Weinberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another, I can show you some of the ones I have. Crim drums I used on Moonside's latest EP. Lorna Shore, I've been using that personally lately for a lot of my personal endeavors.
You can show us when you get down here.
Oh yeah. My boy's straight to the point. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Don't listen to him.
Fuck you.
No, he's right though. I need to come down to Tenny, bro. I need to.
Or we can go up to where? Ohio? Yeah, so yeah.
Indiana.
Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana, bro.
We can't do it.
Conduit.
Play
Yeah,
it again.
let's get back into it.
Run
Let's
it
get
back.
back into it. So I'm gonna end up using this as a supporting line. So that's what I'm gonna call it. Sup, synth. And the reason why I'm gonna call it that is because I'm probably gonna like fade in with it. It's just gonna be like a fade in, like you don't really hear it kind of deal. Anyways, let's get to the next part. What am I feeling? What am I feeling? We're gonna have this be this is gonna be the intro. So fuck it. This is the intro. Sometimes when I write, I'll like make different versions and I'll like zoom out super hard and like copy this and move it over here somewhere. That's further down the line, and I'll make versions of the song in different areas, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I don't have enough of the song written. I want to go into a big ass breakdown, man. I want to break down. So let's do that. Let's do a face melter. Too long. So I always work in 4-bar increments. You'll notice that. So it's either like, so this is 16 bars, right? And a matter of fact, I'll close that gap up. So there's my 16 bars. Shit, got that one. So there's my 16 bars as my intro. So I'll start with 4 bars. I'll extend it however far I go. And then yeah, glue them all together. So they're like nice four bar increments. Now I'm not barred to 4 bars. A lot of people think that you have to go 4 bar, or like 16 bar into 32 bar or whatever. You can have like a 1 bar measure of suspense or like a 2 bar measure of like pre-chorus. You know, you can do all that stuff. That's fun. That's fine. That's dandy. We'll get into that later in like structuring and whatnot. But for now, I'm working in 4 bars. The fade in is done before the mastering stage. Well, it depends. Like if it's a fade into the song, then it's done at the mastering stage. Or if it's a fade out, it's done at the mastering stage. But if it's like by part, like if this pre-chorus is fading into the chorus, then it's done on the song level. All right, let's see here. All right, breakdown time, baby. Don't say I didn't ever give you nothing. Okay. Now, fuck these notes right here. Chat's open, by the way. Or vocal chat. Yep, starting there.
Everyone's just keen to observe now.
All right, let's go, baby.
Bring on that breakdown.
We're gonna use legato. Ooh, that sounds like shit. Until
Sounds like shit.
do what?
Sounds like shit.
Fuck you. Suck my pee pee.
Where's the drums?
Well, I haven't written them yet, big dog.
I love you. I'm just kidding.
Then act like it.
You don't even know who I am.
Okay, philosophy right now is I'm trying to hear the rhythm in my head before I ever put drums to it, because drums are going to solidify a rhythm. And when they solidify said rhythm, you won't get it out of your head. But if you hear it with something melodic, then you have to make it sound good like that. If you make it sound good with drums, yeah, it's going to sound good with drums, especially with metal. It's following the fucking kick and shit. But if you make it sound good without the drums, then when you put the drums in, the drums are going to sound fucking 10 times better. So that's why I'm tweaking this as much as I am. It's because it's going to sound way better once the drums get added.
I'll have to give that one a try because I usually go for drums first to find the pattern.
Right. Right. A lot of people go that method, but like me not being so rhythmically inclined, I find the best way I find my rhythm is just ignore the fact that there will be rhythm and just focus on the melodic side. And if it fits into the rhythm,
Yeah.
then boom, it's gonna sound good. Cause like the drums having so many percussive elements, like you're gonna be able to create a cool rhythm, even if it's not really that rhythmic, you know, because it's got different sounds and different sorts of transients, and like you just have a lot going on with drums that you can spice it up in so many ways.
Yeah.
But like if I'm working with a single note, like I have to make that single note sound good rhythmically. Finish right there. Yeah. Yep. There's the rhythm. Found it. Took me a minute, but I found it. And then we want to take these notes and legato them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here's an instance where I actually wrote an extra Den of Evil. I love you. I actually named a song after you. Welcome to chat. Yes, we have a very similar approach. Clam, fuck you. Brandon, I don't even understand what you're saying. Clam, fuck you again, but I still love you. Den of Evil, that's a big heart. All right, y'all wildin'. Oh, okay. So what I was saying is, here's an instance where, like, ooh, I accidentally wrote like a little extra riff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip this, and then we're gonna extend this, and then I'm gonna make this the 4-bar loop. Uh, There we go. Oh yeah. All right, let's get into the other instruments. Get into them, baby. So bass is easy. Told you guys about that. Man, why is the chat so quiet?
Because it's almost 2 a.m.
For you,
Yeah.
like 8:50 here, bub.
Yeah. You guys still have the whole day.
The whole day, nah, we ain't got no kind of day about it. No,
What do you
fuck
want
that.
from me? What do you want from me?
To
Sin.
change what's ever going on in your background.
What? What?
Thank
Hey,
you. We're gonna do fixed velocities. You know what, Brandon? I
do
don't even think I
drums.
want to hear what you have to say. So,
Do drums. Do the drums.
oh, you want to hear with the drums?
Yeah, and then play Den of Evil, and then I gotta go. I
You
love
gotta
you.
go.
I love you, and I miss you.
What the fuck? Part of that I gotta go shit is going on. Where are you going?
To the bar.
You're kind of a piece of shit, bud.
I know. I know.
No, he's like, no, I totally understand. I live with this. I get it.
You got a better background. What do you want? Is this better?
That's better.
Why, Kang, why did you unload like some of the instruments but not the dog?
Because I like the dog.
Yeah, wait. Hold up. Because the dog is fucking great. Because we're dog boys.
In it.
Clam.
Clem,
Get
you
rid
know
of a
why he didn't
get
unload
rid
the
get
fucking dog.
Clam. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Since you're so worried about what dog is loaded in my DAW, I want you to get rid of Obi tomorrow.
No.
By the way, Dog Loaded in My Dolls, the next Conduit's album name, just so everybody's aware. I
That's
just say
awesome.
that's a thing that's happening.
Dog loaded into my DAW. Actually,
Loaded into my jaw.
it's either that or it's first edition Dark Magician. So whatever the
Edition
fuck,
Dark Magician.
we're gonna take votes on it. Honestly,
I
Also, I'm kind of a newbie to this chat. Who in this chat are we playing a show with? In Colombia?
nobody.
Nobody?
No.
Nobody? Why the
No,
fuck not?
because they're too fucking cool, bro. They don't need that shit.
It's a festival.
It is a festival. I'm gonna fly Kang out there,
I've been
bitch.
thinking about coming out.
Oh, you bro.
Bye, Brad Ben. We love you. Oh, he already left. Fuck.
Has Brett been from around my part?
Yeah, he's in the UK.
Mm,
You should meet up with him
I did not know
and
that.
and collab, bro.
Yeah. You guys know Mike?
You guys got to collab, bro.
Like Mike Cock is gone?
Mike who?
Mike Cock is gone?
I've never met him.
Cock
I don't
is
think
gone.
I ever want to meet him.
I'm gonna mute Jared, but I'm gonna still talk
No, you're not.
if that's cool.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. I'll fucking blue screen you right now.
I dare you to suck his penis on camera.
Who?
Who? What? Sorry, I have Tourette's.
Come here, big boy.
All right.
Stop. Hey, Kang, you already know, bro. You.
Oh, does he already know?
Well, I mean, he faced. Okay, I FaceTimed him apparently the other night. He called me, and we was having a hoedown over here.
Trying to play it real cool.
None of us are cool, bro.
Kang does the chasing.
I don't chase shit. Not even bitches. And by bitches, I mean females who voluntarily call themselves that because they're hood.
By,
I thought your name was Zach, bro.
no,
it's not.
by bitches, he means this thing over here.
Sounds
Yeah, now I'm
toy.
vibing.
Good girl. You good girl.
You know what? I don't like this, so we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna change it here. You know why I don't like it? Oh my god. Not in the middle of stream, bro. Yeah, that was it. So now I wanna show automation, show panner. Left. Shit. Motherfucking pointer. Oh, there it is. Actually, you know what? You know, it'd be super fucking cool. Let's just do some 2010 shit.
Yeah.
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 Gotta go 2010s every once in a while. And then this one.
I
Wait, how do I do these?
I always think I need
go
like
ahead.
2 instances of like shreddage to do stuff like that, left right pan, but you can just friggin' automate it, can't you?
Yeah, that's all I did there.
Dig-a-do.
Just automate it.
I mean, I should probably start doing just the one, because I don't think I ever
mean,
do like harmony stuff. I mean, apart from maybe like a pinch, but
you don't necessarily have to do it the way I just did it. Like there's sometimes I'll have like 2 instances and I do that for a reason. It's like I want to do like harmonies and I want to do like
yeah,
I want to do like bends sound a little more natural if one's a little slightly off than the other one,
okay.
right? So like there's reasons to have two instances. But like I'm writing like a straight up like this is supposed to be a surgical ass like fucking 2010s metalcore song. Like the most I'm doing is like doing this pan.
Yeah.
You know? If I want to get more granular, I'll decide that later on in the song, and then I'll literally just like duplicate the track.
Yeah.
And then hard pan one, hard left and hard right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So I have the choice to do that later, but like as I'm writing right now, it's not a huge deal.
Tell me you're not a guitarist without telling me you're not a guitarist. I love you. I'm just kidding. We know Leonhard is a fucking guitar player, bro. That's all that motherfucker does.
I wish.
Hey, I love you guys.
I love that. I love that. He said, anyways.
No, I said I wish.
He said he wishes, but we know he's a
You
fucking guitarist.
Hey,
That's kind of it as well, I think.
Next time say anyways and move on with the conversation and treat Brandon the way he needs to be treated.
Shut up.
Not me. You don't say anyways to me.
I know.
Fuck?
I think that's where it sort of comes from as well, like just being a guitarist and like, you know, going to the studio and having the whole left right pan guitars and
right.
Well, and the funny thing is a lot of the practices I've shown throughout this stream is just having knowledge as like a musician. Like I know how to program these instruments because like I've played them. You know, maybe not so much drums, but like I get the idea behind drums. I get it enough to like put it with guitars and make it sound the way it should sound.
Yeah, and definitely like you said, like making it.
Dude, it's been super informative to me. I mean, I've just been kind of observing. Pretty sick.
Like you were saying about like, you know, drummers don't have like 8 arms and stuff. Like,
right.
There should really only probably be like, what, like 3 things playing at one time, because you got a kick and a
at most,
and
yeah.
arms,
And then you also have to determine like how fast they're playing. Like this is like 148. It's not super fast, but like you also have to consider like, oh, they can't play like 16th notes at like no one cares what you think, Brandon. They can't play 16th.
Just let him do the synth, man.
Thank you, Jared. Do what now?
Just let him do the synth already.
Yeah, just do the synth.
Let me do the fucking synth, man. Damn.
Get in on the string. Get in on the string.
Do you want it melodic or not?
Kinda.
Do you guys just send the file back and forth when you work together, or do you like remote control or whatever?
Actually, you want to hear something hilarious I found out just like literally last night?
Yes.
So we're working on our first Gamma Hammer track, but that potentially, well, not technically the first. This is the first like solo Gamma Hammer track that's gonna have guitars in it, and like I was telling him, you know, we've had so much praise on like the like just bass, drums, and synth side of things. Like it's kind of weird to pull away from that when so many people are like digging it. Like, and I say so many in the scope of like, you know, what the crowd audience is, but like I literally just went to the fucking track, dude, and I just muted the guitars like this. I just muted them, and I'm like, wow, this just Gamma Hammer. Like you could fucking do this. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we do usually just send them back and forth, kind of like, I mean, one of us will have a dope ass idea, you know.
They also have one of those pillows where like you can feel the other one laying on it. And it's like,
We also have bracelets. I'm not wearing mine right now, but if you just like tap it, I can feel his heartbeat.
Yeah,
it's super
I
cool.
I usually wear mine on my cock, and I actually am right now, but
mine's on my ankle. That's why you can't see it. It's like way down here.
But no, we usually send shit back and forth. Especially shit for the comps. Like That's been it's been bigger on the comps.
Mm.
We're kind of like, I don't know, we're kind of new to all this shit, really. I mean, not Kang, just me, you know. I kind of Kang found me and then was like, "Yo, let's make your shit more badass." And then I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." And then I just sent him all my shit, and then he just made it sound good.
He
And then
sprinkled.
that's how Gamma Hammer became a fucking thing.
He
So
sprinkled his gold on it.
yeah, he just made the mix better, made it fucking hit hard, and made it good. And then ever since then, we've just been kind of like, yeah, living comp to comp pretty much because we haven't even started on our next fucking actual thing. But we both have like whips, you know,
Yeah.
for days. So we will start sending them back and forth and kind of, you know, both throwing in
I
our
think
own
I
thing
think
on
we're
them.
in that weird puberty stage where we're trying to figure out exactly what Gamma Hammer is going to be the next time around. It's
Yeah.
like we have ideas and we're throwing around a lot of ideas, and there's so much potential for what we want to do. Like it's overwhelming in a way. But
Yeah.
like there's definitely more shit coming. It's just like what it's going to be is like I don't know. It's going to hit us in the face at some point and we're just going to be like, "All right, perfect. Let's
It's
go."
hard to lock it in,
Well,
bro.
that's why you gotta get down here, dude.
Yeah, well, in person it would be different. We'd fucking
Oh
knock out
yeah.
a fucking EP in a fucking 2 days.
Nah, we've talked about that too. We kind of want to get together and like get our physical rigs together and like actually like do something in person.
Yeah,
But
something
you
real
know,
would be cool.
yeah, like within the scope of the next EP album, whatever it ends up being, that's not realistic. But like that is a thing we need to do. I think it's a need to thing, not a want to thing.
Yeah. No, it's super cool how we've done it in the past. Like just remote and kind of just like chilled and took our time with it. Because I mean, everybody seemed to dig that first album, which is cool. But I'm ready to fucking do some real shit. And also, we're potentially talking about like adding guitars and vocals and shit. So it could just be a real fucking thing.
Damn, it would suck if you had somebody that played guitar that was.
On you.
You guys have fun. I love you guys.
Cheers, Brandon.
Peace.
Love you too. Bye.
Cheers.
That's the fucked up part. I don't know how to do a heart with my hands.
Yeah, you're making a box. You should probably just take him to the bar.
How do you make a cock and balls? All right. Peace out.
Peace out. Oh, see that bass is way too high or way too low. It needs to be in the same register as the guitars. Anyways, that's kind of my point I was trying to make is like I literally just like turned off the guitars on a track and it was just Gamma Hammer. Okay, that track fucking sucks. We're gonna mute that. Sometimes you go back and you hear some shit and you're like, nah, that ain't gonna work. That was just now. Let's unmute the guitars. Okay, so to get me more in the mood, I'm going to pull up samples. And the way this gets me more in the mood is it's going to intensify things. Why can I not hear them? Okay. Well, we're just gonna assume they're there. Uh. Okay, so that's a little loud. Cool. Cool. Remove. Just a little impact. Just something to fucking get me feeling the vibe. All right, let's get some synth in here. So, let's duplicate, delete. So, safe move. Okay, so controversial fact right now is Brandon was talking about how he didn't adhere to like scales and all that shit. I do. And here's some kind of hard facts is like it's easier on the ear if you start on the note of the scale. So I'm going to start on E. And then if you're going to repeat it, so like say for instance, say this is a whole ass melody. The last note needs to lead into the next note, which will be E, right? So it either needs to be F sharp 3 or D. That helps you regulate the melody so you can understand it better. Now, if it's the end of the melody, if you're not replacing it, then you can do some weird shit where you're like 5 semitones above it, 7, whatever this is. You're going for a climactic finish, but like if you're just repeating something, it needs to be one above or one below the next note, which will be E because you're repeating. So there or there. So we'll make our melody, and then this last measure is going to lead into this E note because that's where we'll start. Well, I'm going to show you it in practice, so let's go. So here we're gonna repeat it. So if we're gonna repeat it, it needs to resolve to E. So here's E. And in there, okay, so this will resolve perfectly. But you can work backwards. So like if I put this on E, if it's something wild like way up here, then I know to move it down. So we can duplicate that. See how it resolved right into the next measure? So it sounds natural. It sounds like one big melody. This is kind of low, so I'm gonna bump it up. You'll hear it a little better too. Okay, so I want to add some flair right here at the end. Like I don't want it to just like loop. We're not looping right now. This is the end of this phrase. So I'm going to do a little like bombastic ending here. Another thing too, like I don't know if you've noticed me doing this. I got to think about this shit as I'm doing it real time, but like you got to keep in mind your intervals. So like this note and this note are really far apart, right? So they're adding a lot of contrast, whereas these two notes, they're really close together. The closer the notes are, the easier they are to comprehend and like sing along to, and quite possibly anticipate the melody. So you can see here, I'm making it really like dramatic, whereas like this is a climb. See, like they go in like increments, they go in like very close quarters, whereas these are like boom, 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 dun dun dun, boom, 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 dun dun dun, dun. You know, it's like they're like I'm writing the melody. I'm writing it. I'm like telling it to be really like sporadic, like connect with the listener. Sporadic, connect with the listener kind of thing.
I like how the climb as well is cut up into those like thirds as well.
Oh, right here.
No, and on the climb bit before. Yeah, so it's like next bit. The 3-note
Oh,
climb,
right here?
yeah. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
cut into thirds, even though it'd be like what, like 8 or 4 or whatever normally.
Something like that.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but you've put it on like the third. I don't know what that technical term
Oh
is.
yeah,
but
yeah. You're talking about. I'm doing like double dotted fourths.
yeah,
Yeah, I get what you're talking. You're talking about spacing.
yeah. It's like bumped, bumped, bump.
Right. Yeah, and that's another way to like kind of also add. So like this is relatable because of the interval, right? It's relatable because the intervals are so close, like you can anticipate the next note. But the spacing, the way it is like it's interesting. You know, it's not just like bump, bump, bump.
Yeah.
You know, that's okay. It works. But this is like a little more. It's a little more. So where I took away for the fun of all the intervals right here, where it's like high and low, and then high and low. This is like it's very static going up, but like the rhythm changes.
Mm.
And I still need to tackle this part, but yeah. And you'll also see too, which is something I like to play off of, is you can see these set of notes. Get out of here, bitch. You see these set of notes very specifically. You see the highlighted ones? They make a shape. But that shape leads into making this shape. So these two shapes lead into this shape. You notice that?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird way to look at things, but like, so here's your anchor note. Then it establishes these two shapes, which then establishes this shape. And then this is a wild card where you're using kind of these two philosophies and you're just throwing both of those philosophies out the window and you're making something unique just to be unique. Just to like, here's the flair at the end of the rhythm.
Yeah, just
or the melody.
to close it out for like the next part or something.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Oh, another thing you need to do, in my personal opinion, is you need to start the song from the beginning every time you make what you think is a closing thought. So, like, I felt like this part was closed out. Okay. Closed out in my mind, but does the song tell me it's closed out? The way the song tells you is you play it from the beginning and you listen to it. Does it all flow well? Okay, then it's closed out. You can move on to the next part. Do not move on to the next part of the song before you listen to the full song in context. Again, you can always change the structure of your song later. But as you are writing it in the moment, make sure that the parts flow. Because if those parts flow together, if every part flows together, you can swap them out like little Lego bricks and they'll always fit together. But if they don't fit together like Lego bricks, at least in this one part, then they're not going to work. It's not going to work. So that being said, this would be about the point where you could take this. This is a solid start. And copy it. You can come way down here and paste it. And there you have a copy of this song so far. So if at any point I feel like I've strayed too far from the path, I can pull this back up and just start over.
I don't think the automation copy's over though, did it?
Nah, if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. It isn't. It really isn't. Because I can remake the automation super quick.
It's easy.
Yeah.
That was if you were gonna, I guess.
Do what?
That is if you were gonna do the same thing again. Like obviously, I feel like sometimes doing like that automation left and right thing, like that's like a hook, isn't it? If you just do it again later on in the
Right.
song, it's kind of like wasted because you just, do you know what I mean? Like
Right,
it then
right.
becomes sort of
Well,
gimmick or
in
something.
that's not to say that that's a later part of the song.
Yeah, true.
What that was just me capturing this moment and just like keeping it stagnant. So I'm gonna continue to fuck with it over here. But if I fuck with it to a point over here that it just doesn't sound good anymore,
Yeah,
then I'm just gonna go restart working on the song right here.
yeah,
I'm just gonna like scrap this part. Yeah, this is boo boo. I fucked it up. It's not good. Let's just restart. This is a good point right here. Let's start messing with the song again. So this isn't like a continuation of this part. This is just like me creating a save file B.
mm.
So this is like my main save file. And this is just like, I don't know if I'm gonna catch that shiny Pokemon. Let me save this file. And then like if I don't catch him, then I'll reload it. But if I catch him, then I'll keep working on it.
Yeah,
If I don't catch it, then I'm just gonna come over here and start working on it again. You feel me?
yeah,
Now this could be a continuation if you want it to be. You could just grab this and pull it over. But really it's so easy. I could just like if I want to continue something, I could just grab all of this, hit Control D, and now I have a second, it's copied. But I don't know. That was a weird way to put it, but it's kind of the way I look at it.
yeah.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm gonna use the restroom, and I'll be right back.
No worries, man.
Feel free to keep the chat rolling. All right, we're probably gonna close out soon. I'll play this back. We'll get in some nitty gritty and then we'll call it the night. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna play this back. Let's listen to it. Let's see where we're standing on it. If you have any questions, ask. If you don't, I mean, don't, I guess. But like, let's just play it back, and if there's something I did in this, just address it. By the way, Vocal chats with mics are totally open. You can stop at any time and say, "Hey, what'd you do here?" Or you can just you can hit the chat down below, and I'll also answer those. I'll repeat them and then answer them as we go. So yeah, further ado.
I
Do what?
I was going to say I do want to know about the impact that you used, but you can get there when you get there.
Okay. So I think I'm actually going to close this out with pulling up a separate track, playing through that. And this was kind of the process. I'm going to show you kind of what I would consider a final track. And then you can from there ask further questions because that might help too. But yeah, anyways, the impact.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what sort of sound and you were using for it. Like I think I missed you putting it in.
So I just have a huge sample library with a bunch of impacts, and I literally will sit there for minutes to half an hours of swiping through samples until I find something that works. And I will say, especially with something like Gamma Hammer, that's like a huge staple of our sound. That's kind of like the like secret sauce of what Gamma Hammer is like we add a bunch of impacts, we add a bunch of swells and effects, and that kind of does the quote unquote magic of Gamma Hammer. You don't need them, but at the end of the day, like we were trying to make something kind of cinematic, and that led to that. Is like the impacts were important. So like I really didn't swipe through these and like try and find something good. To be totally honest, I think because we're on Discord, I can't hear these. It's not playing them real time. So I just kind of drug something in. I didn't even listen to it. I just kind of drug it in and dropped it. So it's kind of a situational thing. Is like I couldn't hear it, so I just drug something in, kind of crossed my fingers, hoped it sounded good. It actually sounded good, so I just left it there. But yeah, those are really important to the specific sound I go to.
Nice. Cheers.
All right, so I'm going to save this, and then I will open up a recent track. I'll play that through, and then we can kind of dig into that one because that's a little more feature rich. That's one I've spent several hours on over the course of 2 years, and well, 3 at this point. And if we have questions about that, that'll be a little more granular. So yeah, you can see there's a bunch of impacts, right? There's in this case, there's a guitar 1 and a guitar 2, so I did actually put the guitars on 2 different tracks, and there's a lead guitar. So I'll play this, and we'll stop at any point in time where we want to talk about it.
sick. Definitely with like the impacts and the swells and like there's also ones that are kind of like not like a riser but like a reverse one. It kind of like goes. Those are all really cool in there. And that glassy sound and synth like right at the start is really nice too. This one. %, has to be a GH song. Oof. Can I hear that part with the other synth just above it? Yeah. Yeah, both of those bits. Cool. If you didn't know, you are on mute, by the way.
That's why you weren't responding to me.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. That was my bad. Damn. I have to re-fucking say all that shit. Anyways, well, I'll cover this stuff shortly. Yeah, so this lead guitar just follows this synth.
I have heard that being
So
a technique before, like layering a synth playing the same as like a lead guitar. Like, is
but
it to
this
like,
is a-
is it to fatten it up, or is it just like what's the
Nah, this in this situation, it was just I wanted a lead synth and I wanted a lead guitar, so I made a lead synth. That's all that was. Is I was like, I couldn't choose between the two, so I was
Yeah.
just like, they're both gonna do it. Fuck
Yeah,
it, they're
yeah.
both gonna do it.
I've done the same on the upcoming covers comp for the chorus. There's like a lead and a synth playing the same thing, and then it splits off like halfway through.
Right. Does its own thing and shit. Yeah. No, that's a solid move. It does it here in the beginning too. That's it. Like this is just a reprise.
Yeah,
You can see literally right here and
yeah,
right
yeah.
here. It just does. It's the same thing. It's just like the context. Like right here, it's playing this like. And then over here, it's playing like a breakdown.
God, the sound tight.
It's just playing in two different contexts,
Yeah.
right?
Is that Hydra as well, or is that Serpent, the other one you like?
I think this is Hydra. Yeah, it's Hydra.
And the
It's Hydra.
leads as well, is Hydra?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Let me look. Yep.
Cool.
And then we can look at the chain for it real quick, which should be relatively simple. Yep.
Amp knob.
Amp knob. Yep. And then the lead is fuck. It's amp knob with delay.
Oh, cool.
Amp knob with delay.
Yeah, it sounds tight.
So there's this point too. You see FX drums. Don't be scared to do some effects like that. All this is it's Jay Weinberg, and all of the direct mics are muted except for the overheads, the the rooms. Yeah, that's it.
I was
The
gonna
overheads and the
say it
rooms.
sounds more like like if you see like a band working in the studio and they take a video of the drummer doing like the click.
Right.
It's got that kind of raw vibe.
But then you see here the drums overlap.
Yeah.
With the effect drums, and they actually like play it a little beat. Yeah, so lots of effects, lots of samples. I mean, I don't think there's really this is just showing like a final product. So like there's also like a tempo change here.
Yeah. Does it stick with that tempo? Because I thought it went out and then came back into like the regular tempo, but
Nah, so over here on this side, you see what this dot is?
Yeah.
Over here on this side, uh, going this way is 168, and then going past this point is 178, which is kind of weird because it sounds really fast over here, which is 168, a slower tempo, and then it sounds really slow over here. But that's because I'm playing halftime primarily
Yeah.
over here, and then I'm playing normal time over here. So it's kind of a like a little kind of play on like how you place your notes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I guess the takeaway of showing this is if you start the way that I started the beginning of this video, eventually this is what you come up with, is a full track that's been tailored and fine-tuned until it becomes a final track with like good automation, samples, multiple reiterations of certain parts. So this is where you get to. This is if you do what I did earlier in the video and you mold it like fine clay, it becomes this. So that's kind of why I pulled this up. Another thing, one more thing, just to show you is don't be scared to do bends and slides with your guitars. They sound more realistic that way.
Mm.
But
I like how you
maybe that
reverse the panning on the guitars there as well, and that second bit.
yeah, it was gonna be too much to do all of the automation for that. So
Yeah.
I just did two guitar tracks. That's why I have two guitar tracks in
Yeah.
this. It's kind of a workflow thing. It's like, can I do it faster if I do automation, or
Yeah.
can I do it faster if I just make two tracks and pan them? And it just so happened that it's faster if I split the tracks and move all that. So, but yeah, you can see the automation here. Anywho.
Sick.
Anyways, I think this is probably a good point to call tonight. We'll do another one of these with Kang at some point. We're gonna have a bunch of other fellow artists do more of these. This is just the first of many to come. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for coming to join us.
Cheers.
It was fun. We had a blast. Yes, cheers. And thank you. Just thank you.